Hello and welcome to Infamous MCP, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Zach. Go by Nitrozeus on Discord.
Welcome back for another riveting episode of Infamous. So as people know at this point, we only do MCP episodes when there's important stuff to talk about. And since there isn't, we'll see you guys next week.
We hope you enjoyed this 3 minutes.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the 18 seconds of Infamous this week. No, but in all seriousness, Zach, what do we got?
We have news.
Hey, news! Yes. News!
All right. So Zach tells me that they have released the mission pack via a transmission, and I have not read it yet, so I have contained all of my possible rage and excitement. And so I'm going to live react to these missions on the air, and Zach has already read these.
Yep, we're playing everyone's favorite game. Brandon reads shit live.
Yeah. He assures me that this is the greatest mission pack that's ever been released by any game.
Stamp it.
He's willing to stake his reputation as a man on this. So we're going to go ahead and read through this.
If you have complaints about that, please reach out to my brother. He goes by Grumelzog on Discord. He handles all complaints.
That makes sense. Josh would go through all the complaints. All right, so mission 1 we've already seen. It's Jailbreak. 20 threat, 4 missions in a boxy pattern. It's a little bit more separated than the B deployment. 1 point each. These are the dispensers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, sources, yep. And so they dispense a prisoner. They are civilians, question mark?
Yes.
Does it actually... Okay, yeah, prisoners are civilians. I see it there. Yeah. Ends at activation within 5, and not within 1 of a cell. You drop the prisoner. Yeah. This mission seems fine. I would not be upset at playing this mission. It is a little spaced out for my personal preference. The main issue I see with it is you are encouraging people to stand far away from the center of the board for long periods of time because of the way dispensers work. Now, the blues tend to do that anyway, so it's not exactly like changing the meta, but I would like to see missions like this that encourage you to stand closer to the middle, because as it is, I feel like it just doesn't generate a lot of interaction.
Yeah, I think they tried to get to that with you can't be within 5 of any battlefield edge, so that you can't just tuck away in a corner, but it doesn't
And
really
so one
work.
thing we've talked about with the dispensing extracts is that you can walk forward, interact, and walk away.
Right.
And this prevents you from walking away. The problem is that you're already so far away because you're practically in your deployment zone to interact with this thing. In fact, there are models that can interact with it at deployment. And the fact that that is a thing is, I think, a problem for me. But regardless, it's probably still better than the other ones, which were run away and deny. You can't run away and deny. You can run away. You cannot deny.
Right.
So overall, out of 10, I would probably rate this mission 5. It's probably fine. It's not perfect. It's got issues. I like that this deployment plus interaction style is paired with a 20-point mission, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, I would say a 5 or a 6. Like, it doesn't really have any major problems. Again, I like that you can't just go hide in them with in a corner and that they go away each round. So that part's nice. But like you said, they're far enough apart, you might just stand there and just pick it up every round and stand next to the cell and be fine with that.
Yeah, one of the things the dispensers do fix that I don't think a lot of people are talking about is the vault type characters like ASM, Thanos, Apocalypse. Those models that are so hard to bring down that it's not even really worth attacking them. And so there's no real value in scooping those up with those guys because, they have to reset next turn, which just forces you to activate that model early in the turn or risk somebody taking it and running off with it.
Yep.
So yeah, there's pluses. It's not like it's worthless, but I don't think it's a perfect example of the mechanic being used to its best. So let's move to the next mission. How many of these are there?
There are 5 extracts and 5 secures, and they are all legal.
Okay, so we're going through 10. Okay. Mm-hmm. So next one up we have is evidence of experimental soldiers exposed. 19 threat extract. 3 tokens after my own heart. These are also dispensing types. They are assets this time. It appears to be a similar deployment to a Charlie, but they're a little bit more scrunched together in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you interact. Standard rules. Cannot have a... When a character holding an evidence is attacked, it may reroll one of its defense dice. Not a huge fan of that, but we'll keep going. Okay. No other special rules that are relevant. Yeah, this is probably fine. The extra defense die is not a game breaker to me, especially since you're not hanging on to them for the whole game. You have to work to get them. I actually kind of like that it synergizes with the fact that activating early in the turn gets you a token, but therefore you will be vulnerable because everyone will be trying to kill you. That paired with the rerolling one defense dice, I kind of like. I really like the deployment. I like the threat total. Yeah, I like this mission.
Yeah, I like this one too. I think especially the defense dice is nice on, I guess, every round, but in particular round one, where like you have to run up and pick it up. And so if you don't have someone who can safe grab and run away, and they have to just stick on the midline, they're at least getting that defense dice re-roll for the rest of the round. So it's not as easy to punish them probably with some of that. But I agree. Like I love the deployment. I like it being 3. I like that they refresh. I like 19 threat. I think this one's pretty solid.
I'm very interested to see, because in every other example we've ever had of a 3-point mission, it priority is so important on those missions. Well, now it kind of isn't because of the dispensing mechanic. You're no longer locked at 2-1 for most of the game,
Right.
especially if they have a safe grabber. So I really like that will make this more of a constant battle as opposed to a flow chart of trying to tip the boat. So yeah, I would probably put this at an 8. I like this mission. I would like to play this.
I'd say an 8 too, and I think your point of like it only being tipped 2-1 in round 1 is important because like when you get to round 2, now you might each take your first activation to pick one up, but then the second activation is like, well, is it worth it to pick this up, or do I need to start doing something else in the round? And so it might be 2-1 and then flip and go 1-2 and like swing back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, how many games were Bill or ASM or Angela grab middle point, run away, send forward a tank to grab the second one, and you just sit on your 2-1 advantage for 4 turns until your opponent finally forces you to commit to them, but they've spent their entire game chasing you, so they're at a huge disadvantage.
Yep.
I'm glad that will never be part of this exact interaction, and it lets you just play an honest 3-point centerline game.
Yep.
I like that. I'm actually I'm hesitant to give anything a 9 without playing it first. These are blind reactions, obviously, though. This might even be a 9 for me. I like so much about this mission. Yeah, I think this is a 9. I think this is a 9 for me. I have very few complaints about this mission. I would immediately am pumped to play this.
Good. Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more like issues it fixes. I think this is great design. Because normally I'm very against the defensive ones, but this is, I think, a perfect little salt on the wound to like, hey, we know we're forcing heavy engagement. We're going to therefore give you a little bit of a security measure of a little bit extra defense. I'm glad it's not like gain stealth or something. I think a single defensive reroll is probably in the right spot. I would have even been okay with +1 defense dice against attacks. Versus a reroll. I think that would have been fine too. This is a little worse, but I think it's in the right spot.
Yep.
Okay. Mission 3, we have Sentinel Schematics Sabotage, 17-point extract. Again, dispensers. 4 tokens this time. They are very close together in the center. They're each 4+3 from each side of the board. Relevant information for this guy. When a character is holding a nanite attacks a character within 2 of itself, add 1 die to the attack roll. So this is the equivalent of hammers. But you have to use at range 2 to get the hammer bonus. They're also dispensers. Interesting. They're also fairly centered.
This one definitely is going to force engagement, right? Because you have to run up there and get them. Once you have them, to really get the benefit of it, you need to be within 2. And it's a dispenser, so there's not as much value in grabbing it and just sitting on it and then doing that again.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. That's not what I'm looking at though. What I'm seeing here is imagine each point is a foot race. So in the previous one, there was a little bit of softener for getting the mission token because you're gonna have to survive for the round. This one, you're massively incentivized for picking
Yes.
it up,
Yeah.
but specifically to fight people close to you. So
Right.
you're basically each, because there's 4 points, each of you is going to be the first one to pick up one of them. And assuming that it was contested because your opponent was looking to pick it up, you are in place to then gain immediate advantage from picking it up first and using the offensive side of it. That's interesting. I don't know how much I like it. That seems a little chaotic, and the priority is going to be super important for who goes where first.
But
But
also the
if you I was just gonna say if you're going second, you're knowing you're not going into priority for the next round, it's kind of like in a normal round where it's like I need to make sure my opponent can't have a perfect first activation. So you're setting traps like, well, I'm gonna put two of your models in danger. That way at least if one of them gets out of danger, I can pounce on the other. I think that's what you're gonna do here. You'll try and set up two good points for yourself. Your opponent will try and set up two good points for them, and you guys will basically be trading activations.
yeah. I also think like the within two means you're not going to have the Buckies of the world picking this up and just shooting from as far back as they
Right.
can. It
Yeah, Rocket
incentivizes
gets
those
hammer.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it incentivizes those people like Josh and Asgard who want to just have a brawl right next to each other.
Mm.
So I think that part will be interesting to see how that plays out. But I like that this one's close together. Like you're talking about, you're going to set it up. That means there's going to be a whole lot of interaction and like fighting back and forth. It's not going to be grab this and then run away. I don't feel
Hmm.
like.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There'll always be times when it makes sense to run away because you're severely outclassed. Like obviously Toad's
Mhm.
not going to fight Thanos because he gets plus
Yeah.
one dice. But I think as the whole, it's going to give balanced lists that have kind of a take all comer approach, a fun, spicy engagement. There'll obviously be the scary models. But one of my biggest problems with hammers back in the day was it just turned into a tidal wave of like dice. And
Mhm.
so we basically each start with two. Then at some point you down a guy who had one and you pick up a second one. Then they basically had one turn to kill you before you start becoming an attrition god. And then if they do kill you, now their guy picks up two, maybe three, because if he already had one. And then you've got one model with three tokens, and if that model is a super model like Ghost Rider or Doctor Strange or Thanos, the game just ends. Because
Yeah.
that model is now unparalleled in offense and potentially unparalleled in defense. And there's just nothing you can do about it. And you spend your whole game chasing a guy with three tokens who's just one-shotting model after model. And it's
Yep.
so bullshit to try and do anything about because it's not just any model with good stats. They also had to be mobile, which is why those super models were the problem. Like
Mhm.
Ghost Rider just kills two people and then drive long away. It's like, well, how do I get you? Like you're not in danger anymore. Same with
Right.
Strange. Strange just ninja bombs two people and ninja flashes away, and you're like, great. Like I guess
Yep.
I'm dead. Like fuck this. So yeah, it was definitely an issue. So this fixes that problem because they're not permanent, right? We're going to reset every turn. Also, you can't pick up 4 tokens all at once and use them on somebody. So I
Yep.
like that too. I also like the deployment. I'm not a fan of 17 threat. I just think it's really boring. I'd rather have low threat or high threat because I think 17 is just what everyone plans their lists around. I think we've done so much mathing that there's just the best 5 teams at 17 points, and it's not very exciting. That said, it's not a bad point total. It's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think if
Um,
this was 18 or 16, that would be more interesting.
yeah.
17 is a little more bland as far as the threat total goes.
Yeah, pretty much everyone has a 4/5 model drop at 17. And it just ends up being my 3 cheapest good affiliated models plus 2 all-star meta pieces, and that's
Yep.
just boring. Um, yeah, and at the slightly higher, slightly lower, you get to see the boat get rocked a little bit because it's no longer add my 9-point affiliated plus 2 4s or anything like that.
Yep.
But that being said, I like the mission. I would probably put this at an 8. I like this a lot. It's got aspects of both. It's a little bit more spread out than the previous two missions that we've kind of the previous mission we just talked about. I think if it just wasn't 17 points, I'd probably give it. Would I say an 8? Yeah, I'd
You
still be
said
an 8
8.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this. I want to try this.
I think I agree on 8. Like it, I really want. I like that these are forcing interactions, and it's not going to be
Mm-hmm.
just run away. And some of that's the dispenser, and some of that's the value of holding it. So I like that a lot. It feels like there's gonna be a lot of engagement. Some of the other like dispensers, I think once we talk through all of them, like I think there's gonna be some of the others that maybe there's not as much value to picking up, but this one absolutely is. You should have a plan to pick up 2 of these every round, 3 if you
Mm-hmm.
can, because of the
Yeah.
value you get.
Is there anyone that can abuse these? Trying to think if anyone can like get multiple ones out. Obviously, you can't hold more than one, right?
You can't hold more than one. I mean, there might be something with like Kingpin's leadership where you could pick one up,
That's what I
pass
was
it,
thinking.
move, pick up a second one.
It doesn't actually say you can only hold one. Does limited mean only one?
Yes, limited. I think is a rule that they've added somewhere that you can. Or no, that might not be true. Oh, it says
Does limited just mean
you cannot interact with a factory while you're holding a nanite. So it just means you can't pick up
yeah?
2, but if one is on the ground or if
You
one
could
gets
interact and
passed
then
to you,
yeah.
that's fine. I didn't catch that before. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, I'm just thinking if you could interact, move, pass it with Kingpin, interact again.
Yeah.
Is Kingpin limited? I'm checking characters real quick.
I think it's just about you just pass it. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's limited.
I think limited is just meaning you
Leadership.
can only get one from each factor.
Once per turn. No, it is once per turn for Kingpin, so you cannot pass twice,
Okay.
which is good. I don't
Yeah.
think we want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could if you had 4 power on somebody in criminals, you could hot potato one of them and then pick up another, which at range 3 is pretty freaking brutal.
Yeah. Toad could take it from somebody else and stack 2 on himself, but I don't think that's a value for Toad to stack 2 of these on himself.
No, Toad. Yeah, Toad could grab one for himself.
He could finder's key, or he could grab one and then he could finder's keepers onto himself.
Yeah, I think there's a couple other people that can manually move stuff like that. These are assets, so Supergiant can't do anything to them.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you give this a rating?
Yeah, I said 8 also.
8 as well. Have you disagreed with me yet?
I think on Jailbreak, I think I like that more than you do.
Yeah.
I didn't have a 9
the more
on
I think
the
about
last
it,
one either. I had 8 on the last one.
Oh, okay, good. All right, I'm just making sure. I think I dislike Jailbreak more and more as we keep reading.
Because of how spread out it is?
It's so spread out. Like I'm just thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, if I want to do anything other than shoot you at range 5, I have to abandon the scenario. It's like, that just seems dumb. Anyway, we'll keep going. Salvage supplies fuel resistance efforts. 18 threat, 2 supply tokens. God damn, they're getting crazy up in here.
This one's nuts.
If another allied non-grunt character is contesting these supplies, pick them up. Okay, so you need to double interact, basically. You need 2 people to interact.
And not grunts, so no Nick Fury shit. You have to have 2 full models.
Even though there's only 2.
Although technically the grunt, like, if you had a grunt, if you had someone else already on it, and then the grunt went up, the grunt could pick it up.
Yeah.
But
you can still do it with Nick Fury. He just doesn't get the token. The grunt gets it.
No, they have to activate before him. At least on turn 1. Afterwards, yeah.
Sure, he couldn't pick it up on turn 1, but the interesting thing about supplies is that
you just leave.
Yeah. Wait, no, these aren't dispensers, right?
Nope, these are not dispensers.
They're not sources. It's just a supply. Why did they use another S word?
I also don't know why they said they're limited when there's not a source.
That's why I think limited means something else.
I think it does too, but I don't.
Yeah. Can you just control F source or limited and see if it's explained in the document?
Yeah.
I'll keep reading. Okay, so they're not sources, they're just supplies, they're assets. You need an additional non-grunt character to interact and pick it up, or else you just interact. When a character is holding supplies, ends its activation, if you're not within 2 of another allied character, you drop it. That's cute. So it's very hard to run away with it.
It's very hard to pick up, it's very hard to run away.
Okay, when supplies would be moved to another character, they are dropped instead. I also like that. There's no cheating.
No Kingpin passing, no hand ninjas, no...
Characters like Logan that have non-choosable places is going to be interesting. Because what's a good example? ASM. If he hits his swing trigger, he teleports forward and then drops his extract on top of you. And
Well,
you're like, fuck.
it's end of activation, but it's like, yeah, there might be times you don't take that
Yeah, your
momentum
last
if you
attack.
can. Yeah.
But you can't just choose not to take the trigger.
No, they're like Logan, yeah, like those. Some of them
Yeah.
you can't.
No, but like Spider-Man's too. If you roll crit wild, he goes. You can't not.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh.
Yeah, no, his is not a May. Yeah, that's just really cute.
All right, pause there for one moment.
And they're...
Limited is that a character can only hold a single one of them at a time.
Okay, so we were right the first time.
Yes.
Makes sense. All right, so these are range 5+3 forward and 4+3 from the side in a offset diagonal pattern. This is what we like to call in the business an incursion setup. This is the mission that used to exist in War Machine all the time. There was 2 objectives offset diagonally, and there was a friendly one and an enemy one, and that was the mission you played forever. There were 2 points each. That being said, this is going to be an interesting game. I hope it doesn't devolve into just being, I get mine, you get yours, leave me alone. I think that would be really lame.
I actually think it might devolve into something worse. Of people are already finding out the
like
cheeky ways to grab it immediately on turn 1. Or
well, yeah, you have the new card that just got banned, the fucking Inhuman teleport everybody card. There's also mass transit. The dog, I think, can achieve it.
Yeah, he can place someone else, place himself. You could use Juggernaut and either Exodus or Magneto, and Juggernaut moves twice to theirs. You asteroid him, and Juggernaut takes theirs. You're really exposing yourself to do that.
Who are you taking that gets 2 power?
Exodus or Magneto or Exodus.
Yeah. But you're out of power, and you have 11 threats standing on that
and
point.
You've used Asteroid M.
And used
to get Asteroid this. So there's some degenerate-ish ways that people are figuring out how to steal your opponents, but I wouldn't say it's widespread.
Well, that's the problem. If it's
they
not
still
widespread,
have to stand
then
right there. Like
one player has a big advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be like herbs. There's going to be a list that comes out that's going to fuck this mission really hard.
That's what I've heard.
Now, again, they're attempting to achieve balance through RNG. So they're just going to say, we're just going to randomize between 5 missions and your opponent can just stop it from happening. I'd rather just not make bad missions, but I don't think this mission is directly bad, but I really like the thought behind it. The concept of like the symmetrical give and take with the difficulty of like the added difficulty of getting the points. But that being said, at the same time, it's like I think it's this doesn't seem polished. This seems like an experiment.
Yes.
And I like where the thought process is, but I think this could have used some more work before it got put out.
I think this, like, along that same line again, I think this has the potential to become an issue with the lists that figure out how to abuse it. And if your opponent isn't careful and walks into a rake, they're just going to have a really bad time if they don't know those types of lists exist.
So these tokens are going to be 7 inches horizontally apart, plus the angle. So it's probably about 8.5 inches apart, I would guess. So no one's going to be able to interact with both. I'm wondering if you could dump enough power on someone like Sam or what about special delivery?
Yes, so you could because it costs 1 each. So you could.
Yeah,
that's
so
another.
She-Hulk
one,
could just go get it. Yeah,
She-Hulk special delivery with Angela and put She-Hulk up there, and then Angela picks it up.
Or you can just pick it with She-Hulk.
You could after your next activation.
That seems better to me, yeah.
But I think special delivery has to be during the Flyers activation.
You're right. I didn't think about that.
But that's still like you play that and then you've moved She-Hulk way up, which you want to do. You're losing the attack, but Angela or Mighty Thor pick it up immediately. So.
Well, isn't it when your team takes damage, she gets power too? So you only get 1 attack into Angela. If you don't kill her, she's got Bodyguard online.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. So yeah, that's a really good way to take, and they can definitely move far enough. So
yeah,
that seems really annoying.
Do you want to hear one of the funnier ones that you can pull off?
The funnier ones? Oh god, I'm afraid actually. If you say Wasp, I will kick you in the face.
No, it's I think you would get it after a few guesses, but it's hilarious. One of the easiest ways.
Do you want me to actually hold on? Do you want me to guess first?
I want you to guess first.
It's an easy way.
It's a funny one. I wouldn't say it's a good way, but it's a funny way.
God. All right, tell me.
Sen and crossbones.
God damn it, I knew it. Does it actually work?
So Sen would have to go first and stand on your home one. And then she does the crossbones activates. And then crossbones gets to walk up and pick it up. Like on your
But
first
it's only
turn.
your close one because how slow crossbones is.
Yes. And Proxima and Corvus can't activate that far away from each other, like to take the
Right.
opponents.
Okay, I thought they added that to Sin and Crossbones as well.
Only Sen can do it. So Sen can pass it
Okay.
to Crossbones. It's not the other way around yet. Who knows?
I want to say that there is fuck. It's I want to say that there's a I can't remember her name, Miss Marvel and Miles card.
Yes.
Does that let them do it, or is it too much power?
If you'd have to be in Inhumans, I don't know if you could set it up immediately because I
And
think
it wouldn't be
I think
early
they
enough.
both need 2 or something. So
Well,
that's
the
a good
interesting
thing,
part
right?
is
There's not too many ways to pick yours
if
up
you go
immediately.
Right. If you go first, though, they still have to spend 2 activations to get theirs.
Yeah.
And so as long as your thing works within 1 turn and you
Yeah.
go first, you still get theirs. But it's funny now that like I could steal yours and you could have never had a chance at getting it. Like
Yeah.
it's like god damn it. It's like even if you lose prio, you still take theirs. You're like fuck.
The jankiest interaction I've thought of with how to get both like immediately. Parker would love this, so I hope Parker hears this. You play Zemo 2 Hydra with Hulk. He gamma launches someone to theirs, gets the power back, and steals theirs immediately. Then, because you're in Hydra, you can also play Sin and Crossbones.
How does that work?
So
gamma launch works.
Gamma launch costs 3, and you place them 5. With Zemo 2's leadership, he gets 1 power back. So then he moves twice and takes theirs because you just launched someone onto their point.
I think Gamma Launch costs an action now.
If it does, then that does not work. If it doesn't cost an action, then you can pull it off.
Is Gamma Launch not legal now?
Should be. Unless I missed a memo.
Oh, there's 2 M's in Gamma Launch and I'm an idiot.
Gamma Launch.
It is not an action. I was wrong. I thought they made it an action. So that does work.
But it only works in like Inhumans or like Zemo 2 Hydra.
Zemo, yeah.
I just think it'd be funny if you play Zemo 2 Hydra with Hulk and then Sin and Crossbones, and your first 2 activations are just pick up both. But then you're still playing Zemo 2 Sin and Crossbones.
Cat and the Spider might also work. It'll be really tight on range. Because you could activate Peter. He moves range 2 in front of Cat, throws Cat, and she gets a free interact. So he would have to be within range of her and the token, and I don't know that he can be, but it's close.
Yeah, I think it's close.
Oh, it's contesting that too? Probably not then. Anyway, that's weird. That's enough spoiling. We're already way behind on schedule. So I like the concept of this mission. I would like to see it get some more playtesting. I am very cautious that it will not be balanced. But on it's like Senators, on any mission that someone's not gaming it, I think it's just fine.
Yeah.
It's just not a good mission. So that being said, I'll give this a 4.
I'll give it a 5. I have the same concern you do about like the people who will game it, will break it, but for most games this is played, it won't be a problem.
I think much like Senators, the only people who will play it are the people that are breaking it.
Yes.
And because it can be broken, less people will play it.
Yeah,
right. And so no one will play it except for the people that are abusing it, just like herbs.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's my concern. Anyway, moving on to the next one. We have Surprise Assault, Mutants Home Destroyed, 16 threat. We got some more dispensing tokens. They're civilians this time. So much like the previous mission with an offset diagonal, we just have paired offset diagonals. So and it's reversed side. So you have a left and a right on each side. Interact, flip this Haven token, is limited, cannot interact while holding, flee. Okay, so there's just no special rule on this one.
Nope.
I do like the deployment on this, that it's staggered center. That's cool. 1 threat each, or 1 point each. This seems fine.
Yeah, I think it seems fine because they're close to the midline. there'll be more people who can safe grab, or like maybe there'll be some fighting. I think this will be the one that, because of it being at 16 threat and that they're close together, and there's no defense dice or attack dice, that this is the one I think is most likely people pick up for like a round or two, and then you just leave them and you're fighting. There's just not a big benefit to standing on these besides points, but like there's not a big benefit to holding these for a round.
Yeah, there won't be a priority in interacting with them, I don't think.
Right.
But obviously you'll still be fighting around them because they're worth points.
Yeah.
I think in the advent of these source type tokens is going to dramatically increase the value of models that have range displacement, because it's going to, I think, dramatically affect people's ability to play the game, I guess. Like, let's say, for example, does somebody have like a push attack that also poisons you? I can't
Probably.
think of any offhand. Regardless, let's say just Shuri, for example, who I think is still one of the most underrated 3-pointers in the game. Her kit is so nuts. But because she's fragile and she's not really what the game needs in the meta right now, because you don't want models that just support and sit back. Like, you don't have the value for that. You need models that will be more upfront, like Black Cat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even Gwen, who is a backliner that pushes her out a lot, does a lot of the same stuff that Shuri does. Gwen is just a little bit better. She's more interactive. But that all being said, if I can push like 2 of your guys off the points, it's effectively staggering them because they're going to have to move back to interact.
Yep.
Even if they're already in attack range. Like, I don't need to push you out of attack range anymore. I only have to push you off of the point. And what you're going to do, you're going to charge to the objective. Well, if I'm not standing there, you don't get to hit me. So it's like not an action economy anymore. And so a lot of the models that were pseudo resistant to being pushed off points now aren't because of that reason. It's like, I don't need to. I like, you can't place at me and interact because I'm just not going to stand there. And so now you're going to spend a move action to walk over and pick up a point to then jump at me. And it's like, okay, that's very restricted on being able to deal with it.
That's why I think there will be times where it's just leave it on the ground. Like, it's more important for me to daze you before you activate or something else, than it is to stagger yourself to go pick this up.
I would love for us to get back to a game state where that's a decision you get to make and the game doesn't make for you. But I don't think that's going to be the case. A lot of these missions have the same scoring quantities, but more restrictions. Like, as much as I love stealing being devalued, it is taking even more of my resources to score the same number of points I used to score. And so if that holds true, I'm going to have to put more of my action choices throughout the course of a game into scoring the same 14 to 16 points I was already scoring.
Right.
Which means I will get to do less actual interacting with my opponent than I got to before.
Unless your list is, I just want to kill you. And so it's like, well, I'm not going to waste.
But again, then you're just going to lose at the same rate you used to lose. My opponent might just have to stand range 3 closer than they used to.
Right.
But they're not going to stand range 3 closer in the most simplest way ever, right? Or else I would just stand on the points. And so a lot of it's going to be like, all right, cool, I run past the points to go get you. You run past the points to go score them. Or past me to go score the points. And it's like, all right, when I turn around and charge you again, like...
Yeah.
And so it's just, I don't know. I'd like to see the interaction a few times. These missions are clearly better than scientific samples, like fucking dog shit missions we had last time. But yeah, overall, this mission seems fine. I would give this a 6.
I'd give this a 7. I kind of like the 16 threat. I like that, again, there's not an extra thing on this one, so there's more of a decision about just scoring compared to getting another benefit. And they're seem pretty close together, so if you're kind of trying to stack up and pick these up every round, there's going to be people close to you to fight you.
They are kind of close. I don't think they're that close, though. So the pairs are individually 6 inches laterally apart, plus they're at like a 40-degree angle. So that's probably more like 8 inches, I would say. So if they're 8 inches total distance apart, that is a range 4. So if they're just range 4 apart, you can just stand on the back, and it's really unlikely they'll be at exactly the spot to shoot you.
True.
So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I think a lot of models or at least if that is going to be the case where people are going to plan on standing there and attacking you, they're going to be playing different characters than they're playing now, because a lot of characters right now only have range 3 attacks.
Yep.
Which might be a good thing. They get some model rotation. Okay, moving on, we have mission 6. Lockdown, the first secure that we'll be talking about today, which has already been spoiled. It's 18 threat. They have points of interest. This is the Shatterpoint mission, if you remember from back in the day when we reviewed it. It is roll randomly to see which one is not worth points, I believe.
Yep.
And the remaining ones are worth 1 each, for a total of 3. Again, I don't hate where their mind is at on this. I really do dislike having RNG decide my games, and admittedly, it's a small chance that the one victory point on the turn that really matters comes out that way. And this kind of encourages a bunch of running around, which I'm also not a huge fan of. They're fairly close to the middle, though. It's not quite like the Mcron deployment. It looks a little bit more spread out than that.
They also you can test within 2, so that helps too. That you don't have to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so I don't feel as bad about that then. It does decrease the odds of me being able to attack across them, though, because that's 2 extra inches of distance that you can be away from me. And it seems okay. I would give this a 4. I don't hate it, but I think it is one of my least favorite ways that you can approach a secure.
Yeah, I think the RNG you bring up like that isn't going to decide games often, but there's going to be times where it's a pivotal moment, and that dice roll sucks for you. I think this one plays very slow because you can test within 2, and there's only 3, so I would guess most rounds of this, maybe there's 1 point scored. Like maybe it's 1-1, but I can see a decent amount of rounds where like only one of these is actually scored and the others are tied off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think I'm not like going to say I'm going to roll bad and lose this mission. That's not what I'm thinking at all. I'm just saying if you play this mission 100 times, that means roughly 40 of those games, your opponent had a noticeable advantage because it rolled on their side far more often than it rolled on yours.
Right.
And so if I'm just playing the whole game, having to cross the table to play the game at my normal rate, and you don't have to, that's a noticeable advantage. It's basically like triple staggering my lists every round that it lands on your side.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of tempo to lose over the course of a game if it just happens turn after turn. Or, it can just happen the way it's like, okay, well, I'm going to cross the table here because I need to make a play towards the extracts that you have. So I cross the table to the far away right side, and you move over to the left side to move away from me, and then it lands over there. And so we're just doing the same thing next turn. That's going to happen. It's not going to happen every time. It's going to happen 25% of the time.
Yep.
And if that happens 2 of your 4-turn game, that sucks.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think it's a little random for my taste. If they were closer together, I wouldn't feel so bad. Like it was like the Mcron style deployment where it's single move and anyone can get anywhere basically. I would feel better about it, but it's fine. I would not be upset to play this mission in a tournament. All right, moving on. We have X-Men infiltrate secret weapons facility, 17 threat secure. Oh, what the fuck? God damn it. Why didn't you tell me there was bullshit when they start putting numbers in it? Okay. Oh my god, I'm terrified. I actually don't want to read this. Okay, I'm going to read it. They're interactable. Roll dice equal to your energy defense. Damaging results. Okay, so it's typical pay to flip.
Yep.
During the score victory points part of the cleanup phase, if a player controls 2 or more grids that have at least one enemy character in their arc, and the arc is
the little yellow
away
part.
from. It's not away from center. The sides are away from center. The vertical ones are towards center on 90-degree angles. If they have controls 2 or more grids that have one enemy in their arc, that player scores 1 additional victory point. What the fuck? Okay, let me think about that for a minute and the implications of it. That means if you have a character in the middle, we'll call it the third of the board, and your opponent has those 2 points, and it's not likely for him to have those. Okay, this is actually not that likely to happen.
It rewards you for not being dumb with your placement. And
no, it rewards you for having. No, it rewards you for having board control. I
That's
drag
true,
you off
too.
the objective and into the zone. Guess what? I
That's
score an
true,
extra
too.
victory point,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
I score the victory point for pulling you off the thing, which meant my web line was worth 2 victory points.
That's fair.
Ugh. Or if my character's injured, it's worth 3 victory points for 2 power. And it's like, fuck. All right, during the cleanup phase, each player places up to 1 grid they control within one. What?
Yeah, so their secures are going to
No.
slow. You can place up to 1 each. So they're not all moving every round, but they
Hold
can
on. No, no,
slowly
no.
inch towards each other.
Did they clarify that rotation can be done on a place?
Not that I have seen. I believe the arcs are
Okay.
supposed to say exactly the same as they are.
And how are you supposed to mark that?
There's with this new crisis pack, there is an actual new token coming out that will
No,
have
I
this
get that.
marked on. Okay.
I understand that, but as soon as we start moving them in 3-dimensional space, we're going to argue about what is a 90-degree arc from this point? Because you can't just like split the center line and call that 45 each side anymore if they're not centered.
Right. They've shown a picture with like you basically put measurement tools down on both angles to create what the arc is, but they haven't clarified
You're not
how
allowed to do
far is
that
the
by
arc.
the rules. But by the rules, you're not allowed to do that unless you're declaring
It's
an attack.
like one and then the other. It's very I don't know. It needs some clarification on how the arcs work and can you move the arcs and how do you actually measure them and how far are they? Because think about it.
I hate this mission. I fucking hate this mission.
Technically, the arc of like your home one, if they're fucking on the board, they're in the arc, right? Like how far does the arc extend? And that's not clarified.
Wait, what do you mean? How far does the arc extend?
Like the arc would be the length of the width of the board almost on your home one. So it's just you're on your home one, they're on their home one. They're in your arc, but they're halfway across the board from you. How far does that arc extend?
But this means that they can run away with their home objective now.
Yeah, they just slowly.
And every time they do, as soon as they move it back once, the entire board is in
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, the arc needs to be limited to range 4 or range 3 or something. That has not been.
But it's not.
It's not been.
Well, it's obviously not. That's not what an arc is. It 100% has no limit.
Yeah.
And that's by design. There was no intention to put a maximum length on it.
I feel like there should have been a zone instead. Or like a cone.
This mission is awful. I hate it. And it's just from a logistical standpoint. The fact that we already have like 5 rules questions that need to be answered, that there is no answer for, is stupid. Like, oh my god. This is so dumb.
Yep.
I hate this mission. I didn't even know that they moved, and I already hated it. And now that I know they move, this is the worst mission maybe the worst secure mission I've ever seen.
I'd give it a 2 or a 3. It's pretty dumb.
I give it a 2. The 3 is pushing it for me. So if it didn't move, and you throw away the arc bullshit, like it's still not a good mission because it's just scrunched in cosmic dimension.
Yeah.
Or cosmic invasion. That's at best. Worst case scenario, it is fucking dumb.
Yep.
Also, I really dislike missions that have tokens that move and which is dumb because I openly said that I love all of the missions that have moving objectives, but I hate them from a logistical standpoint because if you bump a mission on a set deployment, you can just fix it. If you bump a placed objective, there is no recreating that board state.
No.
You could actually call the judge and declare irreparable board state. Like, you have broken the board state to the point we can't fix it.
Yeah.
And admittedly, like, you might know that someone was contesting it, but how do you know that later when I go to move to contest this on a later turn and I end up being short that you didn't like irreparably change the game?
Yeah.
And you just can't. There's no way to fix that. And so that's why I hate this.
Yep.
That being said, all of the missions that had moving tokens previous to this were really good missions despite that.
Yep.
This is a hard 2 for me. I would consider giving it a 1, but I don't think it's actually cancer. I just think it's a mess. All right, moving on. We have Power Overload Factory Goes Up in Flames, 19 threat. Ooh, we have another offset diagonal. It's basically the previous mission, but they just each of you took 2 tokens and pulled the back range one.
Pretty much.
All right, so you're going to score VP part of the cleanup oh god damn it, I swear to god, if every mission is like this, I'm going to fucking vomit.
No.
Scoring 2 or more power conduits, at least 2 of the power conduits are not within 5 of each other.
It's not your home 2 ones. I don't know about the diagonal to diagonal, but your home 2 are, I
So
would
they are.
assume,
Hold on,
within
I can
5.
do this. I can do this math. They are 3 of 10, 7, 14. They're definitely outside range 5.
So it's only if you
They're
control the 2
they're
far ones.
15 and a half inches apart. Yeah, they're outside range 5. It's only your 2 home ones.
That are within 5.
Uh, yes. Now let me do the math on this one real quick. Yes, they are all outside of range 5 of each other, except for the 2 home ones. Okay, so if you are scoring 2 or more conduits and at least 2 of those conduits are not within 5 of each other, that you score an additional 1. Okay, so this is advantaging you for entering the enemy zone
Mm-hmm.
and controlling space. I don't hate that. During the cleanup phase, for each conduit, if 3 or more characters are within 1 of that power conduit, each of those characters takes 1 damage. For each power conduit, if 3 or more characters are within 1, you take damage. Oh, that's weird. Because it doesn't always happen. It only happens if there's a dog pile. Oof, that's brutal. Because that could be a lot of damage.
Could be a lot of damage. I also like that it just specifies within 1. Doesn't say
Mm-hmm.
contesting, so Honey Badger
Yeah.
and Nebula and the Grunts, like there's a
Yeah,
whole lot of people
all
that can
3 of
be
those
within
characters.
1. Yeah, all of those could be within 1 and not contesting it, take the damage.
Okay, I like this one a lot more than the previous mission. 19 threat. Interesting. This is the best blue I've seen of the new pack. I will give this a 6. And that is a push for me. I think it's probably closer to a 5, but I'm going to be optimistic, give them credit for being creative and give them a 6.
On the credit for being creative part, I would agree. I think I'm more closer to a 5. The one that's closer to the midline feels like there's going to be lists that are going to be able to abuse that on turn 1. Like Kingpin just goes and waits and piles 2 people on yours, and now all
Sure.
of a sudden it's 4-1. They're on your side of the board, like you said, but I feel like this has potential for a lot of 4-1 scoring on round 1, and that's going to suck.
Yeah, but I mean Kingpin was already going to do shit like that. So.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think it's bad for strong leaderships to have strong mechanics as long
True.
as there is counterplay. And you could just body block it and have a couple positioners and stop him from doing that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, first activation, Jugs is standing in front of my point. Like
Yeah.
you're going to move one model, you'll stand next to it, and then I'm going to move up and block the other side, and you're no longer going to stand here.
And we're all going to take damage for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I there are issues with this one. I think 6 is as high as I would go without practice. But all right, moving on to the next one, we have Survivor Search for Safe Shelter, 20 threat. Oh diggity dog! Oh my god, I just looked at the map. Okay, place 3 shelters in an asymmetrical deployment. There is one on the center line on the left side, and then each of you has a defensive point on the right side. So in a lopsided triangle. When a character contesting a shelter is targeted by an attack, oh my god, why does every sentence start so bad in this fucking series? One other allied character that is also contesting that shelter may spend 1. If it does, the defender adds 1 die to its defense roll. A character can add dice to its roll in this way only once per turn. Okay, that's less crazy because without that, you could get a lot of defense dice.
Yeah. You pay, and then you
Okay.
pay, and then you pay. Yeah.
I don't like the open ended. It's not like Scoundrels, where it's only if you're not on the same point. It's just period if you're attacking a person on a shelter. So that's annoying.
They have to have
Taskmaster's
another
good on this mission.
ally on the same shelter.
Sure, you know that it's an option, but there's no way around it. You can't prevent it from happening.
Right.
If they're set up for it, they're set up for it.
Right.
There is no like, I'll just move to also contest
I don't
it, and that way you
ignore
don't-
cover
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, there's no counterplay other than just moving their models. Yeah, this is fine. 20 threat is a lot. This is a slog fest.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. 20 threat with those 3 is gonna be
Yeah.
a fight, and I like that
Yeah.
part of it a lot.
I also like that it's asymmetrical, so it's not just like boring.
Yeah.
It forces you to fight for the neutral point because it's an odd number. It's also not the meteors where it's a straight line because the models on the far points can't really interact with each other. Triangle, everyone's fair game. This
Yeah.
is anything can happen. I like this. I like this.
I like the triangle too over like the old E where it's like, oh, beams were
Yeah.
insane there. This kind of breaks up where like you're not Dynamo would still be very good here, but you're not going to see Dynamo just like beaming 4 people at once.
Right. Yeah, the fact that it's not a line also prevents stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is a 7, and the only reason I want to say 6 instead of 7 is because I feel biased that this is a very beat 'em up mission, but it's got a lot of subtlety to it as well. So I think I'm gonna go with a 7.
Yeah, you're right. This is like I feel like I've got a little bit of the bias if I want to see the
Yeah, it's like I call Researcher an 8, and other people say it's the worst mission in the game.
Yeah,
like,
that's
well,
fair.
you're wrong. Like, but I understand your point, and I can respect that. You don't want to play it all in, but that was the only mission keeping the mission pack from falling apart, which, in my opinion, is what happened when they banned it. As soon as you were no longer at risk of being forced to fight your opponent, you just got to do whatever you wanted, and you just got to ignore the rest of the game. And so I think if you're going to have missions that are like senators and scoundrels, then you have to have this as the counterpunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would like the game to go to a point where it's like each of us picks one mission and it's none of this random crap. It's like you pick mission, I'll pick mission. And if we did that, we could start reining in the missions to be less crazy and more fair. And then it's like, well, I'm just going to pick the mission that I think is good versus you and vice versa. But we're in the world we're in. So I think if you're going to do the way they're doing it, you need to have a vast variety of different missions. This mission doesn't prevent you from playing scenario. It just is advantage towards punch.
Yep.
All right. Did you give it a rating?
No, I think I'll give it a 6. I think you calling out like a bias towards fighting does make me bring it down just a touch. I really like that it's 20 threat and that there are 3, so it's almost unavoidable to have that like brawling happen with that high of threat and only 3 points. I like that you kind of have one that's a little bit safer on your side. It's not, intrusions, it's all along the middle, but it's also not gamma where beams are insane. And the aura you can have from like a range 3 effect. Probably if you were in the dead center of all those, you probably could get it all. But so I think I go with a 6. I like this one.
Cool. All right. Assault ship make sweeping search. 16 threat secure. This is exactly the same deployment as, let me find it, Surprise Assault, it looks like. They might be slightly different. Let me double check.
They're a little bit different.
They're a little bit different, yeah. They really hate pre-marked maps for some reason.
Yes.
Anyway, that being said, that is very similar. It's offset diagonals paired in each side. Once per turn, when a character is attacking during its activation, if the defender is within 2 of a spotlight, it may reroll 1 attack dice. So it's the opposite of the defense dice one. Which, is that the same one? No, the attack dice was the square.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so, how far apart are these? They are 3 inches off center and 6 inches laterally apart. So that's 6 by 6. Quick, what's 6 times 6?
36.
Times 6 times 6 divided by 6 squared.
I think that's only 6.
Because a squared plus b squared, so...
I think that's only 6 to the power of 3, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's 36
times
I've never actually used this stupid formula. I always
216.
do it the long way. Yeah, so it's 216 divided by 36. That can't be right. A squared a plus squared plus b squared equals c squared. Anyway. It's either 6 or 8 inches apart. They're a little far apart. Oh, but you only have to be within range 2 to get the extra attack dice.
Yes, if the defender is within 2, you get the reroll. So I think that'll happen a fair amount. I think that's nice. 16 threat with 4 of them. Might end up with kind of people posted up in spots, but the attack dice reroll is nice. They're closer to the middle than, like Infinity Formula or the Bees, so that part will be nice. I imagine most models will be able to rotate diagonally in one move. I don't know about laterally. Yeah. You might need a long move or a medium base, but So rotating between them won't be too bad. And an attack reroll is nice. That kind of incentivized for them staying close to it, I guess.
I think you also have to keep in mind a lot that because of the new dispenser type missions, that combined with all the weird deployments that they're adding, you're very likely to have multiple objective choices to stand on to get your point.
Mm-hmm.
And so if each model theoretically only score 1 or 2 points, and you're not going to be able to score them over multiple turns because you have to be moving to go get them more tokens. I think you are going to see a lot less importance of distance between secures because the extracts will be more relevant in later turns.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I do think that these offset diagonals that we keep seeing in the deployments are nice because, like you said, they allow a lot more opportunity for movement between points without having a long move. And I'd really like them to disincentivize just spamming models with speed long.
Yep.
And it would devalue some of those meta archetype builds where you see, oh, well, this model is speed long, so it's objectively better than 90% of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, so that said, this is a solid mission. It's a little spread out, a little high scoring for a 16 threat, in my opinion. But it's got an offensive component. I'm not a fan of this offensive component, though. I don't like things that are scalable. Like, this makes models like, Gambit or... Oh, it's a reroll, not extra dice. Okay, hold on. So this would be particularly good with like Red Skull 2,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just rerolling like the one blank you roll. Yeah, it's still good. I mean, this isn't a bad mission. It's just not my favorite. I'd probably put this at a 5.
I think I'd put it at a 6. I think I like it just a touch more. Like we talked about, I like the diagonal and the rotation you'll be able to have. I think the 16 and 4 points and kind of spread out will be interesting to play, like you said. Of like maybe it's not as maybe I'm too high on it and I'll come down on it, but I like the concept of it quite a bit.
Cool. All right, well that was the last mission. So, do you want to tell me? I think you have the list in front of you.
Yep.
What missions will be legal with these 10?
All 10 of them, unless you mean the other ones that are legal with it.
Yeah, I said which ones with these 10.
Oh, I thought you meant which of these 10. Okay. Where is this?
No.
There we go. Okay. You want me to tell you what is legal, not what has been removed, right?
Correct. What will be legal moving forward?
Okay. Alien ships.
Okay.
Deadly meteors.
Okay.
Guardians save Shi'ar Empress.
That one is.
It's the.
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
It's the pay to flip where you just always roll 3. You get a reroll if you're holding an extract.
Okay.
Not as tight as Emkron,
right.
but tighter than Infinity.
Okay.
Infinity. Inhumans deploy advanced weaponry.
All right.
Senators.
Okay.
Mutant Madman.
Mm-hmm.
Scientific samples.
Oh, god damn it. We were on an okay patch.
I knew exactly when this was getting ruined. I knew exactly when this was getting ruined.
If you're telling me they put that in over Legacy Virus,
yes,
I'm gonna shit my fucking pants.
No, Legacy's out.
Legacy Virus is gone.
Legacy's out. All the stacks. So
it's a terrible packet.
All the stackables are out. We can come back to that, but no cubes, no hammers, no Legacy Virus.
Okay, this is straight poor decision making. All right, continue.
Scrolls, Spider Infected, Scoundrels, Unexpected Guests, Crash Royal Wedding, the extract where you like get pushed around if you're not contesting, and Wedding Party, and
that's the 20-point blue, right?
Yes, it's the one like Fisk, but you lose power.
Shitty Fisk, yeah.
Then also from last year's pack, Strike Team secures Shield Relay, which is a D, I think, physical pay to flip. Yeah, it was the one that wasn't legal because it was a D physical pay to flip. And if you're securing or if you're scoring the pay to flip, you get a defensive reroll.
Mm-hmm. And that was paired with the security card one that wasn't legal at the time.
Yes, and that one
is also not legal.
Also not.
Okay, so just never able to be played with its pair.
No.
Okay.
So that Strike Team one is the only D secure. Riots and Cosmic Invasion and Deadline was a little closer, but Deadline's out. No stackable extracts, like I said. What else is out that was interesting? No Macron, which I think people really like, so I'm kind of surprised that one got kicked
Yeah,
out.
Crown was popular. Okay, well, if we're gonna talk about like critiquing, samples and senators and scoundrels making it in
Yes.
is a travesty.
Yep.
It's a straight travesty. Those are all three of the worst missions they've ever made, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
Spider Infected as well is like it's more balanced than most of their missions that are shitty, but it's still not a fun mission to play. No one enjoys playing Spider Infected. It's just
No, it
the
just
least bad option.
I have to
F.
pick these up because there's 5 of them. And then I hope
Yeah.
I flip a coin right so it doesn't entirely fuck up my second
Yeah.
round and third round. And
The only thing I give them is that because the high scoring teams tend to get most of the tokens, it ends up fucking them more than it fucks you. But it's
Yeah.
still a high RNG mission that is not fun to play and is tedious.
Mhm.
And it's like, so what's the redeeming quality? You can score more points than most of the other missions. That's not a redeeming quality to me. So I think it's a bad mission.
I think I would have rather seen
Yeah,
Terrigen
of-
canisters stay of the 17 Fs, where you move speed short and can get poisoned. I think I would have rather seen that stay than Spider Infected. But nobody played that one.
that's a right. That was the one that they dropped because it was the least good.
Yeah.
Yeah, samples being in is pretty abysmal. I don't even know how to respond to that because saying that they wanted samples to be in the mission pack is like saying I wanted to keep my shit in the refrigerator. Like I don't know how to defend that choice.
Yeah. I've heard that samples might be getting changed. I don't know what that looks like, and
Right.
it's speculative, but I think
You said you had a list of speculations, so let's go through those now.
Okay, so the first one is samples. I've heard it's being changed. I hope it's removing the extra VP part. I think if you just left it as you get scientific hubris,
It's a 4-point extract.
that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that would be fine.
I've heard senators may be getting changed and maybe being dropped down to 5 and changing the deployment, obviously a little bit. But if senators was down to 5, that might help a little bit. But there's still going to be the teams that are good at it now who might be better at it if there's 5. I don't know.
Ooh, I actually didn't think about this until now. This is the first time we've had an asymmetrical mission, isn't it?
You talking about the triangle? What do you mean?
Yeah, all of them. Because all of the slanted...
oh, yeah.
All the offset diagonals and the triangle are all asymmetrical. If you flip them upside down, they're different.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the slanted diagonal, the extract one, isn't. Because if you flip it on its head, it's the same. But on the paired diagonals, if you flip them... Let me see. They are the same. Okay, so it's just the triangle. And... Yeah, it's just the triangle. If you flip it, it's backwards. Who's player A? Is it relevant for deployment? Because who sets up the mission?
That's a great question.
Because based on the terrain, if there's a fucking Quinjet on the board or a Sanctum, it really matters which side is player A.
I would assume the person who wins priority, but that's just an assumption. Let me see if I can find...
Right. I actually think it is in the book, like, who is player A, but the mission cards no longer say which one is player A on the mission card.
Right.
It's just blue and red. And so I would then assume whoever's choosing blue is the bottom side. And so relevant to who got blue, the 2 points will be on their right, is what my assumption would be.
Okay. The player with priority chooses a battlefield edge to be their deployment edge. That player's deployment edge is located at the bottom of the map on the crisis card, identified by the blue zone. I never even
Okay, so priority is blue.
Yes.
And non-priority is red.
Yes.
Okay, so that is clarified, which means whoever wins prio, despite which missions get selected by each player, if you play this mission specifically, the 2 points are on the priority player's right at deployment.
Yes.
Which means you don't get to choose which side to put the tokens on.
Right.
But it might that now you can actually weaponize your choice of board edge with the terrain for the objective tokens.
Yes.
Because whichever side you choose is going to have the more tokens on it. So if there's a big fucking building on one side, they'll be blocked off from one of the tokens.
Or if it's wide open,
because it won't be mirrored,
and you don't want to have a bunch of cover everywhere.
Sure. Yeah, I just thought of that. Okay.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's interesting because it's always been you flip it doesn't matter, so it's never mattered before.
Yep. So I've heard
Okay.
samples, I've heard senators, and then I had heard about scrolls and maybe one other that I don't remember being tested at 22 threat.
That would surprise me, but I would like it. I like more threat to value, so.
I think if it was a slower, I don't, not the scrolls is slow, but it's a 4. But I think there's some of them that could be interesting at 22. I think that there's all like as soon as you add threat, there's always the potential that like now your opponent's 8 wide or something stupid.
Sure.
But
right, but I mean, you just pair those with missions that are lower scoring, and
yes,
it's
like
usually
wedding
not much
party,
of a problem.
wedding party at 22. There's only 2. It's like that doesn't seem as bad. If you want to bunker up with a ton of models, you're losing a ton of power to score those 2 VPs.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this one, the Savage Supplies, the 2 extract token that you have to have 2 people to pick up, and it's worth double. That could have been a 22 threat, I think, and that would have been really interesting.
Yeah,
because now you can afford to really pair up and like create bunkers that could really do stuff. So just be interesting.
Yep. So hopefully we get a print to play soon on these. They have these listed as being effective on June 12th. I think I've heard of most people adopting them much earlier since we're, kind of done with the old Crisis Pack.
I would imagine that it's going to be legal today.
Yeah. Like even, I'll say like even TTS, which normally waits, they're like, hey, next round, these are legal. We're using them.
Mm-hmm. That I don't feel great about that, especially since there's speculation that there's some changes coming. Or are they just adding these because they're adding these and keeping the old ones, right? But if you're playing with, potentially old scientific samples, old senators, like you're playing with a mission pack that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And a similar thing happened when they did the first character update. They're like, Hulk got updated. Well, people were playing old Gamma launch with new Hulk, and it was busted. But that was never tournament legal.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons, like, there was a big playgroup separation in Kansas City. It's like there's one group that's like, we're playing stuff as soon as it gets spoiled. And so they're like proxying models and using new stuff. And a lot of the tournament players didn't want to play with them because, like, you're playing stuff that isn't legal.
Yeah.
Like, you're playing a leadership with a model that will never exist because that model is getting changed.
Right.
And you're using a different model with this model, and they'll never exist at the same time.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it created a bit of a rift in 2 communities in Kansas City because one group was super play printed and the other group was anti-play printed.
Yeah, so my hope is they actually release all those soon, and they don't wait another month or something like that. It's if there are any changes, or like maybe just confirm there's no changes. Like there's 2 ways to handle it, but I think even from I don't think it was last year's packet, but 2 years ago, you remember there was a whole bunch of them that kept like scrolls. It kept the name, but it changed entirely. So they've done that before, just reused the name, but entirely rewritten or changed the Crisis.
Senators is a perfect example.
Yep,
Senators was originally a single extract mission.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of grain of salt to that, and I hope that they release the whole print to play soon.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, otherwise you're playing things that shouldn't exist together.
Well, if you're just playing at the shop, I don't think it matters a whole lot. If you're playing in the TTS league, I think it really fucking matters that you guys are playing like a combination of missions that was impossible.
Yeah.
Like the only way to score 6 victory points in a extract is senators, right? 5 is the max on everything else.
Yeah, because samples can get 5, but senators is the only.
Yeah, it's only 5.
Or
so you could be playing. You could be playing a 5 secure and a 6 extract, which is probably not going to be legal if what we heard holds true.
Yeah.
Also, like in a mission like Salvage Supplies, it might be really good with Kingpin because he only has to worry about a single extract, and then he can just focus on secures.
Yeah.
But at the same time, depending on if those missions change, it might be really impactful. Also, saying that, hey, if you would move the token, you drop it instead, that's probably not the end of the world if they do it at the right time to hand off a token. So the fact that you could just forcibly drop it in a weird spot, then pick it up with somebody else in the same activation, that could be interesting. Maybe not same activation, but later in the turn.
I also think...
Because
Go ahead.
It's really hard to steal those things.
Yes.
Because, like, even if I force you to drop it, I'll almost never be in a position to pick it up myself.
Yeah.
Unless I'm overwhelming you.
Yeah, like Black can't. Black Cat can't steal that because
Nobody can steal it.
it's like
Yeah.
if it get passed to you, nope, just goes on the ground. I think the models. Every time there's one like this, it makes me curious about the models like the Shield Grunts and the 4-threat Black Widow, who get to choose where it drops. So it's like, oh, you dazed me.
Yeah.
That sucks. I'm still gonna just put it next to me and next to that person, and then I'm gonna pick it up.
Well, I was actually just going to say, it's like, so if you actually do the math on this, it's still really good because guess who chooses to place it? You dropped it. If
Yeah, you
I try and
dropped it.
steal it, you drop it, not me.
Yeah,
It never came to me, so I get to place it, which
Yeah.
means I'm going to place it somewhere where you can't pick it up on your next turn.
yeah,
So it's still a really powerful mechanic because
yes.
I'll just put it next to me, and then somebody on my next turn will come over and get it, and you'll have to move 2 people there to get it. And
Yep.
so it creates a huge problem still. You'll have to then displace or kill Black Cat. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. Never mind. It says contesting not within range 1, so we don't have to worry about dazed characters letting you pick it up. God damn it.
Yes, that would have been brutal. Thankfully,
Yeah,
that does not. Yeah,
Thank God they did that. Okay.
you have to be non-dazed and non-grunt.
Yeah.
So there's some hoops to jump through.
What about X-Men Red or Gold X-Men? Whatever, Storm leadership.
I don't know what ours is, but
Can she place anyone, or is only the active character gets placed?
only the active player character can hop.
Okay. Okay. So you can't somersault one of your own people there and pick it up. I guess
No.
Inhumans you could get away with a second activation pickup with Medusa, I think.
Oh, because you'd hair flip.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to. She'd have to get 2
Yeah,
power.
because you
then
could
move,
activate
hair
Wong.
Flip, move. Yeah.
Yeah, you activate Wong, pitch her a power, double move, and then activate her. She gets another power, double moves, hair flips, picks up hair flips.
Yeah.
If Wong can get there and doesn't die.
Yeah.
He'll probably
definitely
die, so you probably have to hair flip him in.
There's definitely some interesting stuff that I think will come from
Mhm.
that one. I'm excited to see. I just hope it doesn't become herbs again, and then it's like, cool, this is
Yeah.
awful, and we got to get rid of it.
Well, I don't think it's that bad because even if they get yours, then you just go get theirs. Like, it's not the end of the world. It's
Right?
just
They
annoying.
can't steal yours and then also put someone on theirs and then go take theirs. Like that doesn't. Unless you're running
use mass transit.
and
Unless
hey,
you use mass
don't-
transit.
I've already got it up here. All right.
I know, right? I do. I
Yeah.
think mass transit's underrated.
Well, because the problem with mass transit is like if you had a way that you could pick up both and either like have enough power on Nightcrawler to begin with because it's Inhumans or something, then you just
play Cat and
mass
Spider. Lets you
transit.
interact out of activation.
You just mass transit both of them back, and you're like, cool. So these 2 people holding these 2 things are going to stand next to each other and score 4 points on my deployment. We're playing over the secures now.
We need to sit down and look through this tomorrow because you might be able to make that work if you mass transit with Spider-Man and Black Cat. You can play Cat and the Spider, and
Oh,
she can pick up
Jesus.
one of them.
Yeah,
And
you
then
could.
you mass transit everybody into position. This might work, dude.
I mean, it's the thing. Like, it's 40% of your cards, but if it's I at 4-0 on turn 1, and then I hold on to them the whole game, like it's
There's definitely going to be some measuring because I don't know if you'll be able to put people in the right spots. It'll be close though. The interesting though, if you go with Prio, it might still work because they still have to take 2 activations before they can pick up their own.
yes, unless they have
And so
something
you
else.
just win
to do that to
Prio,
you. Yeah.
and you're like mass transit. I put one person on your token, and I am going to play Cat and the Spider next turn. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. No, I think that one has like the potential to be very interesting, has the potential to be very dumb.
Yeah.
I would wonder what you think. I liked that the D secures basically went away. There's no riots, there's no cosmic invasion, there's no deadline.
Yeah. I mean,
hate
there's
losing
a
intrusions.
few pseudo Ds.
Mhm.
What is it? We've got Power Overload and X-Men Infiltrate are both like pseudo Ds that are kind of like more like they're just janky Ds.
Yeah.
But they're not as abusive as the other ones because they're way less spread out. And I like that a lot. I do think that the devs have took a real hard look at the meta, and they have tried to combat the cookie cutter scenario lists.
Yep.
They have made turn 1 plays less easy. They have broken up the cookie cutter 3Ds, 3Fs. They have tried to temper down steals a little bit. They are making choices that are moving the game in a better direction, I think. So I know that I am a Debbie Downer a lot of the time, especially recently. I don't want it to seem like that's what I'm saying. My biggest problem with everything that we've learned today is the missions that are moving forward. The previous missions that are getting continued is by far my biggest complaint about everything. The fact that they're bringing in arguably 4 of the worst missions in the current packet. Wedding Party is just like, why? Why would you bring that forward? Senators is, again, why would you bring that one forward? It's like the 2 least played fucking missions in the packet. So unless, they're fixing it. If they're fixing it, cool. But until we know that they're fixing it, I think I like Wedding Party. It's just the most boring mission. They're just too far apart. Just skew them together.
Yeah.
Just 20-point manifest.
Exactly. Put it on the fist deployment.
Yeah. It's not that hard, right? But at that point, just make Fisk a 20-pointer. Who cares? Like, why are we making this hard? The arguably the most balanced mission that they've had for a long time is Legacy Virus post nerf. It has been just a great mission, and I understand they want to get rid of stackable extracts because that's clearly the narrative here. But like, come on, guys! Like, you can't just
that's the least abusive one, like by far.
Right. It is specifically designed to stack, and it's hard enough to do it. And there is a negative component to it. I get it. So if you want to get rid of Legacy Virus, fine. I'm not saying you have to keep Legacy Virus, but Scientific Samples is an unexcusable choice.
Yeah.
Completely
unexcusable. If it doesn't change, then there's zero reason for that to exist.
Right. But if you're noticeably changing it, then what the fuck is the point? Like, why did you keep that one? You could have picked 5 other missions to keep and just said... we picked this one instead. It's just frustrating. What was the other one? Scoundrels. Scoundrels is also like the most cancerous fucking secure mission. It's like, talk about a mission that just don't interact with me.
Yeah, I would really hope that Scoundrels gets something. Remove the cover. Remove a point. Push them closer together.
Change the deployment.
Something.
Change the deployment to the Imcron deployment, and it'd be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd do that.
I love the mechanic. I hate the deployment.
Yeah.
You cannot have a 5 secure mission in a game with the fucking leaderships that we have.
And at 20 threat,
Kingpin,
so it's not.
Yeah,
it's not hard to.
It would actually be even worse if it was a lower threat. Can you imagine 7 wide Kingpin at 18 just winning the game?
That's true. Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't quite be 7 wide at 18. It'd be 19 for 7 wide. 6 wide Kingpin at 16 points would be game over.
Yeah.
It's like it's honestly not the worst. The fact that it's 20 points is the only reason it's playable. It's just, oh man, the fact that you only kept 10 and 4 of your 10 were like poison pill choices. Like, just fucking spin the revolver fully loaded. Like, let's go, baby. Like,
hey, at least with the crisis selection, just never play samples. Like, that's
the man is playing Russian roulette with a Mossberg. Please, somebody stop him. Like,
he loaded all the bullets. God. That's not how this game works.
Oh man, yeah. So I think it's probably a good thing that that's what I'm upset about is the missions they're keeping. But
yeah, I really like the concepts of the new one. Like, I like where they're branching out to.
Yeah.
I like the dispensers. We talked about that last week or a couple weeks ago. I really like the dispenser type.
I'm hesitant. I think it is better than just having steals unabated, but I don't think it's better than not having steals.
I also still, I mean, obviously I love Mystique and I want to play Mystique. There's going to be like leaderships that are better at those, like Hellfire Club. Sure. Do you know how many points are going to be on the board now if there's 4 secures and 4 dispensers and 4 extracts for Hellfire Club?
I really don't think it's going to matter. They didn't struggle to get on points previously.
But they're definitely not struggling now to get on points.
It's like saying the not thirsty man didn't die of dehydration. Like, I don't know. That's like the one that Parker is more correct, I would say, when he's talking about Shadowlands getting a buff. That there will be more people touching an objective. But guess what? He still wasn't winning when everyone was touching an objective last week. Yeah. So I don't know how it's going to change anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it doesn't matter that their whole list is touching something. It matters that the thing within 3 is touching something. And guess what? It 100% is. So it doesn't matter.
Do any of these I just
The
thought of
fact that
another.
you might potentially have let's check the math. There could potentially be 13 objective markers on a board
Because you got a
if you
5,
don't count.
4, and 4. Yeah.
Yeah, 13 objective markers on the board is currently the max based on the current board states we've seen. Now it's extremely unlikely because 4 people have had to interact with dispensers and then drop them, but they're still touching them, right? Because they're holding them. But if they move away, they're still touching them. But if they move away, they're not fucking range to attack, so it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
it's like every time Parker loses his shit, I'm like, calm down. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
I just thought of another really fun thing that I know you'll appreciate as soon as I say it.
Mhm.
Well laid plans on the salvage supplies is gonna be such a giant pain in the ass. Like they're so hard to pick up. That's the one where there's 2, and you have to have people next to it and like all that shit. But they're so valuable to hold on to. You just well laid plans. You pay
Yeah.
$170 to buy that card, then you play well laid plans on that, and it's just a bitch for them to ever get again.
I mean, you know what card I'm putting in my 10 just to shit all over you?
Nope, I don't.
Highway to Hell. I'm going to drag your objective holder into the middle of my base and kill him, and there's nothing you're going to do about it.
You're gonna drag my crossbones, and he can't
Yeah.
even move twice to get.
I'm
within
going to
2
play
of
Ghost
somebody.
Rider in a list where I can guaranteed get him a second power on the first turn. And your guy is coming with me as soon as you pick him up. And you're not going to have a good time. Admit it, would you even pick it up at that point? You're just staring at Ghost Rider,
No,
he's just
Ghost-
revving the engine,
yeah.
you're like,
Ghost Rider is that I'm gonna go. No, you can have yours. That's okay. I'm
yeah,
good.
I'll just look at my 2 points on the ground and wait till next turn to pick
Yeah.
it up and double move away. Even if I drop it, I double move away and drop it. I don't even care. Like it's just as long as it's not over by you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my concern with this mission. The fact that in less than an hour we've come up with a lot of ways to break this mission wide open is really scary. And it's not even just because you have to remember it's not about what is currently legal. It's about the restrictions it puts on game development in the future, which is one of the things I was complaining about last time. It's more about you putting a ceiling on what the game can be with silly stuff that is unnecessary.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about that. And like by putting a steal in the game, you open yourself up into like missions like this now have to have wording that prevents it. And you're gonna miss something eventually, and the game's gonna break. Mystic Wakanda Realms was the same thing. Back in the day when the most mobile model in the game was Black Panther because he could pounce, it wasn't a big deal. Then you introduce Convocation, Scalpel, and Juggernaut, and all of a sudden they're scoring 16 points on turn 2. And it's like, well, what the fuck do we do about this? Ban the mission because we don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And so it's about future proofing your game as well.
Yep.
And so this card is dangerous. It is very easy to create situations that are not only negative play experiences, but unfair play experiences.
Mhm.
And so you have to be really careful.
Yep.
So I think this is the worst extract mission.
Yeah, because all the others are dispensers, and I think.
Right. Which is good. I think all of these were fine. The worst secure mission is hands down X-Men Infiltrate with the fucking arcs and bullshit.
Yeah. I'm not excited to play that at all.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the Lockdown. Yeah, Lockdown. But Lockdown's fine. The X-Men one is just a nightmare of logistics and issues.
Mhm.
But the mission itself is probably reasonably balanced. I think if you were to play it correctly, it would be okay. Here's a good example. If you've ever played the game X-Wing, playing it at a very competitive level and getting into like what happens when you bump and like this tiny little precision based movements you have to make that are 100% judgment calls.
Yeah.
It's so easy for somebody to just bully their way into getting what they want. It's like they just like move their ship forward quickly and just like not even like really fast, just like I put him down, I moved the tool, and you're like, well, I don't think he would have been there, and you cannot reverse it. There's no way to go back and fix it, and it's just like you're talking about like fractions of a degree noticeably changing the board state of the game.
Yeah.
Or like bumping one. Like there's so many manual dexterity precision moves you have to do in a confined space that are all moving around other things that are very easy to bump on a slippery surface. You're like, all right, and then your hand accidentally bumps an asteroid and it moves. And now you get to argue for the next 3 hours about where it was, and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
That's this mission.
Yep.
I think the mission itself is fine and balanced. I think the issues it will create throughout the game, like arguing about a fucking 45-degree angle 3 feet away is
Right.
not something I want to do during a tournament.
Yep, same.
Not to mention, like, I've seen people struggle to read scattered ice correctly for decades. I don't want to see them do the same thing here. It's like, dude, I don't know what you think 45 degrees is, but your brain is fucked.
That's why I think they literally like had to mark it on the thing. It's like, hey,
yeah, no,
this
but
is
even
the
if you
thing
do,
is
it's like,
wrong.
but they won't understand the difference. Like, all right, the token is slightly quirked, and so you reach down to straighten it, and now you've moved it. Because
Yeah,
it's not where it was before, and because
Right.
you just moved the token, and so now it's like you're shifting a 3-foot line a millimeter. It might matter.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
not to mention, it's like it's just so hard to measure it anyway. And this is going to create the same problem we had in X-Wing. I'm going to get out a laser, and someone's going to say I'm not allowed to do that. It's like
That's
I'm not
already
allowed
actually
to
been. People have already said use a laser.
brought up.
It's like the lasers are not legal. You're supposed to use the tools that are provided, basically.
Yes. And so that's exactly my point. Like, they're like, well, laser is illegal. It's like, excuse me, displaying light at the table is illegal. We need to turn all these lights off then, because that's apparently
There's
illegal,
a whole lot
sir,
of
to
lasers hitting
use
me right now.
to use light. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Anyway, we should stop talking about it. Anyway, so that mission sucks. Don't play that one. But yeah, overall, I think the missions are good. The second thing that I like the least about the spoiler today is how annoying it's going to be to set up missions. Every mission has its own deployment.
Mhm.
They're all going to be a mess. They're all going to matter. Like, I can't wait to argue with people over which fucking lockdown objective I rolled for. When I'm like, all right, Blinks is this one, Skulls is this one. It's like, no, actually, sir, the one on the northwestern corner is. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
No,
give a
those
fuck.
will be a pain.
That's
Also,
one. That's two.
The dispensers are great, but they're like another thing to not move. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
when I think I've played them. I think I've played them in person once, and it was like we set them down, and then we didn't put the other thing like on top of it. It was like, that's over
Yeah.
there. We're not ever flipping these. We're gonna we're
Yeah.
both paying attention, and that one's already been used. Like, we're not touching that shit. Just leave it there.
Well, yeah, because we have like those
Because it says
blue
like
and red
flip.
flip tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically you're supposed to, but obviously then you get into the token has moved.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't move the token. And
Yeah.
so we have the little plastic tokens.
Yeah, I think
we
they're
put
going to
next
use
them for,
those as
who's
like
good-
this,
yeah,
or
just
like a
use those.
damage token.
You just
Like,
pick it up
this
when
has
it's been interacted.
Yeah.
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 The interesting part is you will actually need 8 extract tokens theoretically, because they're the same size as an extract token.
Yeah.
And so, but obviously both players are going to come to the table with a set of extract tokens.
Yeah.
And so one player can be the tokens, one player can be the source.
Well, and with the stupid arc ones, that's why they're like there's going to be physical tokens with these because they have to put the arc on it. But then that's
My
a pain
favorite
because
is
if
when
you
to be-
don't buy that pack and you just
You won't
print
get
it,
'em.
you won't
There'll
have
be
the
a million
arc
people-
tokens. There, yeah, but
There'll be a million people that will make them. But here's the issue. Most people don't realize this. None of the official tokens that AMG has ever made have actually been accurate. The third-party tokens are more accurate than
Yeah.
theirs. They're supposed to be 25 millimeters. All the Carper ones are 24 millimeters
yeah,
because they didn't take into account the die shape of the cutter at the factory.
yeah,
And so when they punch it out, it loses a millimeter because of the wall thickness of the blade.
yeah.
And so all the tokens you're using are actually the wrong size.
So
And then also, the acrylic tokens they made are the wrong fucking size, because they laser cut them to the wrong fucking size.
yeah, the ones from the Gladiator box last year were then like another millimeter or two shorter, where they had to
Great.
say like you can't use these. Like these are not correct.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And so my point is, when we get these new tokens and they're off-center, which side of the off-center angle is
Yeah.
going to be which side? It's like, fuck me. I have no interest in playing this mission ever.
No.
Anyway. Yeah, so those the fact that I am most upset about the previous missions and deploying these missions is, again, a very good sign.
That's
Because
it's
these
a good
missions
sign.
these missions with, I think, one exception are good. I mean, the really crazy red one with the two tokens, the salvage supplies, is questionable, but it's interesting because immediately everyone's obviously going to go to how can I abuse this, but both players are doing it, and so if you're playing it in your 5, obviously you'll have a plan,
Right.
and then if you don't have a plan, then you need to ban it. So it's
Yeah, having the ban will be nice because it's like, all right,
Right.
you clearly have something that I'm not ready for on this. I'm not playing it.
Yeah, so I don't hate it. I just dislike that it will, like Senators, will just perpetually absorb your ban. So therefore, we're not really playing with one ban. We're playing with a landmine and a ban.
Yeah.
And you don't get to use your ban if they have a landmine.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if a mission is just perpetually getting banned, you should probably take it out of your rotation.
Yeah.
All the other ones, except for the X-Men one with the arcs, are all fine. Lockdown is not my favorite, but it's certainly not a problem. So yeah, I would definitely get rid of X-Men, and I would cautiously approach salvage supplies.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, they're all good. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today. This has been Brandon.
And Zach.
And you should not play scientific samples.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.